What is up, everybody? Happy Friday. We have some breaking Jets news that came out this morning that I had to give you guys my thoughts about. Welcome on in, everybody. My name is Richie Malora, live here on the channel as we had breaking news this morning. A quarterback has officially been named for Sunday's matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. What the heck is there even to look at? The injury report is out. There's a lot of players that are ruled officially out for the game on Sunday, which we will talk about. Today was busy for me covering the New York Knicks, so that's why it took me a little bit to go live here. There's a lot of news surrounding my New York Knicks. If you guys did not know, I am also a Knicks content creator. I have a Knicks channel called Knicks Media if you guys wanted to go check that out. If you are a basketball or a Knicks fan, shameless plug of myself if you guys don't mind there, but making a lot of content over there now that that season is underway. And the Jets season is slowly coming to an end. But the cool thing about the Knicks is, now I'm like confused. Which team am I talking about? But the cool thing about the Jets and the NFL is even when the season is done, which is right around the corner, we got only 4 games left. We still got so much to talk about. I mean, so much. This offseason is going to be absolutely massive, man. It really is. So make sure you guys smash the like button right away as you come into this show, because there's so much that we're going to be breaking down, how this move completely impacts the future of the New York Jets. All right, so let's get into it and not waste any more time. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Eric's in the chat. Let's do it. Donald, Outlaw. Any update on the Giannis Knicks stuff? Go check out my latest videos, my friends. I got all the updates on the Giannis stuff with the Knicks over there. Edgar's in the chat. What's good, bro? Appreciate you. All right, let's lower the music a little bit and get this show started. Let's start off with the breaking news that came out. Pull it up on my screen. Boom. So we had some breaking news come out. That is the New York Jets extending their center, Josh Myers, to a 2-year contract worth around $11 million. Now, this is a big deal, folks, because what this does is it gives the New York Jets one thing that I absolutely adore when it comes to the offensive line, and that is continuity. Continuity is absolutely everything when it comes to the offensive line. The New York Jets now have 4 of their 5 offensive linemen inked up for the 2026 season. The only pending free agent is John Simpson, and of course, you got to include Elijah Vera Tucker, who is a pending free agent, but he's technically not one of the 5 starting offensive linemen for this season. And it's important to add the context to who Josh Myers even is. I mean, he was brought in here to contend for the center position. Remember, all throughout training camp, there was a competition for Joe Tippmann and Josh Myers. Tippmann ended up winning that spot, and then AVT tears his tricep the week of week 1, which slides Tippmann to right guard, gives Josh Myers his opportunity to play center. And the cool thing about the Jets right now that I got to give them a lot of credit for is we have not had any injuries on the offensive line since AVT went down. We've had the same 5 starting since week number 1, which is absolutely awesome. And Myers has slid in at center, and he's been pretty solid. And then the big part about this, though, is Joe Tippmann, I think, found his official home at right guard. I think the New York Jets have officially committed to Tippmann being their right guard of the future, which goes to tell me when it comes to AVT, what's the latest on him? Because Elijah Vera Tucker is a guy that I absolutely love, and it's sad to see him potentially walk in free agency. That's a guy that, if I'm the Jets, I don't know about you guys, please sound off in the comments and let me know your thoughts. If I'm the Jets, man, I go to AVT and say, hey, bro, we would love to bring you back on a friendly deal. I mean, at least I would. I don't know what type of contract that would look like, but I think it's totally worth the risk of bringing it back on a 1-year prove-it deal, and you sign depth. You draft a guard in the draft. You draft interior guys. You sign somebody, so in case AVT goes down, and then put AVT at left guard, and then the offensive line, let Simpson walk in free agency, and then you have Fashanu, AVT, Myers, Tippmann, and of course Armand Membu. I would not be opposed to that. Another scenario that I can see the Jets go at offensive line this offseason, which is definitely worth talking about. There's a big time free agent that the Jets could open up the bank for. The Jets got a lot of capital, and I'm seeing a lot of Jets fans tell me that the Jets should go after this guy. And I don't think that the signing of Josh Myers is going to take them out of the race for Tyler Linderbaum. Now, Tyler Linderbaum is the best offensive lineman to hit the open market in the offseason. And if the Jets want to open up the bag for him, I'd be down for it. Bring in Linderbaum, and then you re-sign AVT. And then you're looking at an offensive line of Fashanu, AVT, Linderbaum, Tippmann, and Membu, with Myers coming in off the bench if needed. And then you draft somebody in day 2 or day 3 as the interior guy for depth. That would be crazy. I think Tyler Linderbaum is more of a dream than anything. If I had to guess, I do not see the New York Jets signing him. I think the Ravens are going to be prioritizing either the franchise tag or re-signing him. And I also think the Jets may have confidence in Myers. They're like, you know what? We think Myers, for that contract, is going to give us similar production, not as good a production, but good enough production where we don't want to open up the bank for Linderbaum when we can use that capital elsewhere. I mean, there's so many different scenarios the Jets can go. So I think that the New York Jets' weapon right now is their offensive line. Now, yes, the offensive line hasn't been perfect this season, but when you talk about Armand Membu and Olu Fashanu, they've been playing really good football as of late. Joe Tippmann at right guard. And the big question we've had all throughout this offseason is, okay, well, this season heading into the offseason rather, is what's the continuity going to look like in the inside of the offensive line? Because Tippmann was the only one inked up beyond this season. Now that Myers is officially locked up, now you have Tippmann and Myers. Simpson, AVT are 2 pending free agents. Will the Jets even re-sign John Simpson? That's another option. You can just bring back Simpson and you have the same starting 5 offensive line. I don't know. I think the Jets are probably going to look for an upgrade, whether that's in free agency, the trade market, or the draft, knowing that, you know, this offseason is going to be absolutely crazy. But I think that the contract that the Jets gave Josh Myers, it's a very team-friendly deal. And this is a contract, if you look at the deal, 2 years, $11 million, that's like a borderline backup, competing for a starter type of contract. This is not starting level money. If you're a starter in the NFL at center, you're a good quality starter, you're probably making way more than that. So I think getting him under contract for this, it's a solid deal. I think that he's going to be either the starting center, or the Jets are going to bring in a big ticket guy. So I think that this is a fair contract for both parties. And, you know, another thing that's interesting to note that I noticed on X is that Breece Hall, who is also a pending free agent, of course, he quote tweeted this on the breaking news of the Jets extending Myers a heart. Now, I think Breece Hall, we're all aware that we all want him to be here long term. I do. I know most Jets fans do as well. And the big question is, all right, it's time to extend Breece Hall now so he doesn't hit the open market, but I don't see that happening. I think Breece is going to hit the open market unless the New York Jets slap a franchise tag on him or, of course, extend him before free agency opens. But I'd be down. Seems like Breece Hall is loving this move. So you guys let me know your thoughts about this, about Breece Hall potentially being interested in, showing love. And, Breece is dealing with some knee issues. I'm pretty sure he's going to be playing on Sunday. He did start practicing, and he was not practicing earlier in the week. But I think that the addition of Josh Myers in this past offseason and the extension of him is going to be pretty lucrative. So shout out to the New York Jets for inking Josh Myers to a multi-year extension. I think that is an absolute no-brainer. And they're getting ahead of free agency, right? You go into the offseason, and now you have one less hole to worry about at the center position. Worst case scenario, you don't land Linderbaum, or maybe the Jets don't even want him because of the contract that he's going to be demanding. And now you're looking at the offensive line. You have one hole to fill, and that's at left guard now. And you can either bring back Simpson or give AVT a prove-it deal. I would prefer, I don't know about you guys, but I am still all in on Elijah Vera Tucker's talent, man. And the injuries is such a big issue with him, but it's not like there's a talent issue. Like, if he's on the field, AVT, he is an all-pro talent. And I don't want to give up on that. I simply don't. I want him part of the future. Can you imagine the Jets get him on a 1-year, $10 million prove-it deal or something like that, and he plays all season next year and he dominates? Then you got to give him that extension. But I don't know, man. I think it's going to be interesting But I also think that there is a world where, of course, like we already talked about, Myers is back next year, but in a backup role. The weird thing about this, too, is when the Jets signed him, the Jets promised Myers that he's going to be given the opportunity to contend for the starting job. And they gave him that opportunity. Remember, he was contending for that starting center position next to Joe Tippmann all throughout training camp. And everybody was wondering why. And you see why. He's an absolute stud. But now I also think we have to talk about Joe Tippmann and what this means for him. Now, I think that the re-signing of Myers, I don't think Tippmann's ever going to go back to the starting center position. I really don't. And I think that's okay. I think he's found his home. What are your guys' thoughts about Joe Tippmann? I think that, of course, the Jets drafted him to be the center of the future, but I think that Joe Tippmann has been fantastic at right guard. And, I would love to have that right side of the offensive line with Membu and Tippmann solidified for the next 5+ seasons. And that's great. And I think that Tippmann, being a second-round pick of Joe Douglas's tenure a few years back, this is his third season. So Tippmann's entering his final year under contract in 2026, by the way. So that's another guy the Jets are going to have to be considering extending if they want to keep this offensive line going. He's going to be eligible for an extension after this season. So I'm curious if the Jets are going to want to extend Joe Tippmann in this offseason, if they really feel like he is the future of that offensive line, because he is going to be a free agent, not this offseason, but the following offseason. So I wonder if the Jets are going to want to get ahead of that by giving him an extension now before anything else. So, and that's why I feel like Joe Tippmann being at right guard is solidified. And Elijah Vera Tucker, going back to him real quick, he's played 4 positions on the offensive line. Literally every single position but center since he was drafted. He's played left tackle, he's played left guard, he's played right guard and right tackle. He plugged in at right guard because the Jets signed Simpson, and he took that position and ran with it. But let's not forget what his original home is. AVT's original home is left guard. That's what he was drafted to be. And then they moved him around. Remember, it was supposed to be Mekhi Becton and AVT, left tackle, left guard. And now the only hole on the offensive line entering the offseason is left guard. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm willing to bet on AVT getting healthy. And because some of his injuries are so fluky, bro. Torn tricep? Come on, man. So I think that AVT being back on a prove-it deal at left guard would be absolutely massive. And I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely think that this Jets offense is as good as it's ever been in terms of a foundation being laid for a potential rookie quarterback to come in. Now, it's not perfect. You still got weapons to be added. You love Garrett Wilson. A.D. Mitchell, John Mechie has started to show their inconsistencies. Mason Taylor is showing promise, but now he's injured. But offensive line is where it starts. You got to protect your quarterback. You got to be able to establish a run game, and there's upside with room to grow. Breece Hall, you want to bring him back, but I feel like whatever quarterback the Jets bring in the offseason, whether that is a rookie, whether that's trading for a veteran, I think that it's a pretty solid foundation for this guy to build with. So we shall see. Let me know your thoughts, folks. Hit that thumbs up button if you're new to the show, as always. And make sure you guys check out Sleeper, the proud sponsor of Jets Media all throughout the season. Get a 100% deposit match up to $100 by using the code JETS. Really do appreciate you guys tuning into this show. That is being powered by Sleeper. You guys get $20 for free when you sign up for free. No deposit even needed. But if you do want to make a deposit, you guys will get 100% of it matched up to $100. So huge shout out to our partners over at Sleeper. And make sure you guys comment down below your thoughts, if you did not already, of the news of the New York Jets bringing back Josh Myers for the future. Really, really excited to see what he looks like next season. Whether he will be a starter or not, we shall see. Let's get into the chat now. Anthony says, I want AVT back, homegrown player. Hey, man, I agree. If the Jets don't draft the quarterback and then sign defense or lineman, I'll root for Joe Burrow. Well, the Joe Burrow stuff is definitely an interesting one. We made a video on the channel yesterday about that report. If you guys have not checked that video out, highly recommend it. Very interesting stuff. I mean, I still think it's a very highly unlikely scenario where the New York Jets are capable of bringing in Mr. Joe Burrow, but you never, ever know. Hello, Olu, AVT, center, Tippmann, Membu, and that center being Myers. Yeah, baby. You love it. You absolutely love it. 31.3K for Richie. Everybody from the 313, put those mother thumbs up and follow Richie. Danger Zone. Cannot thank you enough, my friend. Really do appreciate your consistent support of this YouTube channel. You're the man, Danger Zone. Everyone go check out my boy's YouTube channel as well. Appreciate you, brother. Much love to you. Got to get this offseason right. I'm excited for what's to come. Just make smart moves. Yeah, man, and it really just comes down to quarterback, man. I mean, the Jets just got to find their quarterback for the future. If they don't find their quarterback, none of this matters. Offensive line doesn't matter. Playmakers don't matter. You got to get your quarterback, and we got all offseason to debate what that quarterback is going to be, which I am excited about. I am very, very excited about. Now, we have some other news I wanted to talk about with you guys. So let's bring that up. Make sure you guys smash the like button if you did not already. Would appreciate that. Would appreciate that. All right. Now let's get into the other news, which is Brady Cook officially named the starting quarterback for the New York Jets against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm intrigued about this one, folks. This is some interesting news. I think we all expected this to be the case. Not really shocking news, but hey, man, I'm excited to see Brady Cook get his opportunity. Last week, I'm not really looking at that as his official NFL debut. I think that you got to give a rookie a full week of practice as the starter before you're just able to really evaluate him. And I think that the one thing about Brady Cook that I liked and I was intrigued by in his game against the Dolphins last week was his arm. He has a unique arm to the point where he gets the ball out on time. He knows where his reads are. He went through his progressions well, but he just started off the game with the yips, fumbling the ball, and the playmakers are not really doing him any justice as well. So I'm excited to see what he looks like, man. I feel like he could potentially be a guy that the Jets build around next year in terms of being a potential backup. My expectations for Brady Cook is he's going to be on the practice squad again next year as the quarterback 3. I think that the Jets are going to bring in 2 new quarterbacks in the offseason no matter what Brady Cook does. I mean, that's a big question. What if Brady Cook cooks for the rest of the season and he goes out there and balls out for 4 straight games? What then what's the topic going to be? Brady Cook season? I don't think so. I think that Brady Cook is not afraid to let the ball rip, and he has a good football acumen, which I've learned. Like, he understands things, and he had a good command of the huddle. You know, I was at the game in person at MetLife Stadium for his first official, debut in the NFL, and he did a lot of like pre-snap stuff that I really recognized, where he was commanding the huddle. He was in and out of the huddle very well, communicating with the team, changing the plays at the line of scrimmage. Those things matter. Like, when you're a young quarterback, that's the things I look at. Another thing I look at, which he needs to improve on, is his footwork. I feel like watching the film back, he definitely had some sloppy lower half footwork. That interception he threw to the back left corner of the end zone, or the front left corner of the end zone, actually, to Mechie, he had a sloppy back foot was fading away. That's your perfect example of a young quarterback. You got to step up into your throws, let that lower leg, let that back foot be that driving force, and let that ball rip. And I feel like that was an underthrown ball, which led to an interception. And I think that's something he needs to work on. That's why, Fernando Mendoza, just to bring him up real quick, that's my favorite part about him as a prospect. Like, he feels like an NFL quarterback in terms of the footwork is there. But I'm excited to see what Brady Cook looks like, man. I think that he has the mobility. He has the smarts. He has a pretty accurate arm. And you look at what he did in Missouri as a college quarterback, I do think he would have got drafted if he was able to declare. And somebody made an interesting point. I don't know if you guys are aware of the Bill Parcells quarterback rule, but Bill Parcells is very strict about the quarterbacks that he brings into his football teams. And Brady Cook checks the boxes of the Bill Parcells quarterbacks. Now, I'm going to pull it up so I can exactly have it if I can find it. But Brady Cook brings it up. So here is the checklist of evaluating quarterbacks according to Mr. Bill Parcells. It is, you need to have, I think, 3 years of starting experience, being a senior graduate. Also having, 3-year starter, 30-plus games with 23 wins in college, 60+% completion percentage, and a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. So that's the Bill Parcells quarterback rule. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but it is interesting and a little unique that the first quarterback that Aaron Glenn brings in the draft has this. You feel me? It's interesting that Brady Cook checks all the boxes of these. And I think that is something to keep in mind. Now, again, this does not mean that Brady Cook is the future of the Jets, but interesting. Now, I think that what the Jets have done with the Brady Cook situation is interesting. Now, you look at the quarterbacks in this year's draft, I do not think that the Jets are completely like gung-ho on this type of rule. I just find it very unique. I think it's extremely unique that the New York Jets brought in Brady Cook and that he checks off all of these things. So I'm excited to see what Brady Cook looks like, man. I really am. I think Brady Cook has an opportunity here to show what he's going to be able to do as a New York Jet quarterback. My expectations are really low. I'm also expecting the Jets to lose on Sunday. I don't see them winning a game with Brady Cook unless he comes out there and just completely just takes it by storm. I think that the New York Jets have an opportunity to win a game next week against the Saints, even though the Saints look like they're better as of late. But, you know, at this stage of the season with 4 games left, I don't really see the Jets winning a lot of games to finish off the year, which is fine, right? I think at this stage of the season, you're officially eliminated from the playoffs. You know, a lot of players are injured coming up into this game. And I think that at the end of the day, us as a fan base, we are in off-season mode already. We're ready to go. And I think that, you know, we're seeing all the mock drafts of the Jets potentially trading up for Fernando Mendoza, trading for Joe Burrow, maybe staying put and drafting Dante Moore from Oregon. There's going to be so many talking points this offseason, which I am very, very excited about. So definitely feel free to let me know your guys' thoughts about the news of Brady Cook being the official starter and quarterback of this football team moving into this week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Is a quarterback that fits the Bill Parcells rule. Does that have any impact on your overall optimism of Mr. Brady Cook going out there and executing? You never know. And I do think it is valuable to note that the reps in practice with the first team is important. And Aaron Glenn said that same thing today to the media, where he basically said, like, now that Brady Cook has all the tools and all the practice reps, it seems like he has a lot of confidence in him, which is definitely important here, that Mr. Brady Cook is getting his opportunity, which is pretty awesome. And let me just see if I can pull this up. Yeah, so this is Aaron Glenn talking about Mr. Brady Cook heading into his first official start as a New York Jets quarterback.
But now this week, he's had a chance to get all the reps with the ones, get a chance to communicate with the O-line, with the receivers, with the tight ends, with the coaching staff on exactly how we want to go about playing this game. So, I have all the confidence in the world. That's something I've stated, you know, from the very beginning. He'll be a good player in this league, and he'll have his opportunity again this week.
All the confidence in the world. Now we shall see. What if he does go out there and cook? Let Brady cook, folks. I don't know, man. Hype me up, coach. You never know. I don't know if you guys saw the Aaron Glenn had a joke. He was joking around with us about him potentially returning to the NFL. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Aaron Glenn is officially making his return to being a player for the New York Jets. Take a listen.
I think it's a huge announcement that you guys should hear. At 53 years old, I'll be making a comeback, and I'll be getting ready to play in a couple of weeks against Diggs and against Shakir in Buffalo. I think it's a huge announcement.
Can you imagine? I mean, obviously, I think this joke is directly about Phillip Rivers being the quarterback for the Colts now, but pretty funny stuff there. Shout out to Aaron Glenn. I think that's the only chance the Jets have of getting an interception this season, by the way, if Aaron Glenn came back, because nobody on this team knows how to catch a football on the defense. And here is the news on who's officially out for this game against the Jaguars. Both quarterbacks, Tyrod and Fields, and then 3 rookies. So pretty bad that Mason Taylor's out in this game. A.Z. Thomas, not looking good so far since the Jets traded away Sauce, because A.Z. has not been able to stay healthy, unfortunately. And then Kiko is officially out. Interesting thing about Kiko, by the way, his brother is a projected top 10 pick in the NFL draft. The Jets are not going to draft him because he's at a position that we don't need, which is so awesome to say, by the way. We don't need no offensive tackles anymore because the Jets drafted an offensive tackle in the first round of the last 2 drafts, which is awesome. So let me know your guys' thoughts about that with the whole injury news. But yeah, man, I think Brady Cook is going to get his opportunity. What should we see from him? We got a super chat from my man. Brady Cook Madden rating is not high enough, though. Don't tell that to Brick Johnson. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Another one from Danger Zone, my man. Think Parcells rule will matter with Dante. Hit it. Listen, I don't think that the Bill Parcells rule is something that we're going to be talking about a bunch of times. You feel me? I don't think that's something that like the Jets are going to be like super strict about, if that makes any sense. I don't. I think it's just a coincidence that Brady Cook meets that. I really do. I think it's more of a coincidence than anything. I think that the Jets are going to draft their quarterback regardless if they fit that rule or not. But you never know. Like Fernando Mendoza, he's right on the brinks of that. He really is. He's not there, but he almost is. So only time will tell. What are your guys' thoughts of it, though? Any chance that the Jets are really strict to that, or what? All right. Any questions you guys have in the chat, please feel free to let me know. On the flight to Jacksonville right now, that's a true Jets fan right there. That's a true Jets fan. Going to this game. By the way, chat, is there anybody interested in potentially going to the Jets-Patriots game? Because I potentially have 2 tickets that I want to give away for free. If there's anybody interested, let me know right now. Because I'm thinking about giving them away. The Jets gave me these 2 tickets for free because of all the group events that I've done. And the Jets were nice enough to call me and offered me to send me to that game. And I'm like, no, thank you. Because I like to stream the games. And I just went to that game against the Dolphins. So I thought, hey, I'll take them, but I'll give them to 2 of my subscribers or one of my subscribers that could bring a +1. So if anybody is interested, let me know. And we'll run a raffle and get you guys in the building for Jets Patriots. Brady Cook versus Drake May. You never know what's possible there, right? You never know. Folks, smash that thumbs up button if you did not already. Appreciate all of your guys' thoughts and comments and concerns. If you guys did not smash the like button, I would greatly appreciate it as we're live here on this Friday, December 12th. Jets Jaguars coming up this weekend. What to watch? What to watch, man? What to watch in this game? In Jacksonville against a really good team. And the Jaguars are one of those teams that's just like, man, they're playing some interesting ball. They're winning in ways that's very unique. I think that's a good way to say it. Winning in ways that's extremely unique, folks. Those Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that Brady Cook is going to have to, he's probably going to turn the ball over. What's the line of turnovers for Brady Cook? Over or under 2? I think he's going to get 2 turnovers, if not more. Probably. That's what I would guess. We'll see. But unfortunately, there's so many injuries. Like right now, we're in evaluation mode. And the fact that all those guys are injured is pretty annoying. But we'll see. What if we win? So what? We win a game. I'm very consistent with my takes on these and whether like winning or losing and all that. Like from my perspective, it's very simple. Like there's no reason to get over obsessed over wins and losses at this stage as a fan because the Jets are going to go to try out there and win. I'd be shocked if they won. I really, really would. If the Jets win on Sunday, that's because of coaching. Coaching is the reason they win. If they win. I don't see them winning at all. They're heavy underdogs. I don't have them winning. But if we win, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. And I just hope that like Jets fans don't like whine and, well, we won. Like, bro, relax. Okay? Doesn't matter at this point. Just let whatever happens on the field, and then let's let the draft process work itself out. The Jets got the ammo, man, to do whatever they want in the draft. They got the flexibility. So that's how I look at it. Let me know if you guys agree with that or not. But folks, we're going to wrap up the show here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of Jets Media Live here on this Friday. We're going to be live for the Jets and Jaguars game for the live play-by-play reaction, which I'm excited for. Was not able to do that for the Jets-Dolphins game because I was at the game, but this time we'll be reacting to the last 4 games, which is exciting. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you're new as always. I'm going to wrap up the show here. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Jets Media, brought to you by Sleeper. I'll let you guys go with that. Hit that like button on your way out and enjoy the rest of your Friday and have a happy weekend coming up. And let's go Knicks. I'm out of here, folks. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Love you all. Peace.